So we'll again start with the example. So we saw that if we consider ourselves, okay, we are the topper of the school, like us, okay, in our school, there could be many as well. So when we accumulate ourselves, okay, in the ranking system, we can see that we fall under, okay, a particular, the entire example, your NEET exams or something, right? All over the, that's complete, like you get a wider range of it. So you can categorize yourself. That's what we tell. Okay, with respect to a school, I'm the topper, but with respect to an entire collection of students, I might fall onto a different category. Okay, the the similar example, okay, is slightly a similar way that I wanted to put you up over here. What it tells here is with respect to the training data, okay, with respect to the training data H, okay, it is telling that it is set to overfit the training data if there exists some alternative hypothesis H dash, okay, there is something H dash such that H is a smaller error than H dash. This H, the training data, whatever it has, the error in the training data, it is very, very smaller compared to the training data that is there with the, compared to the error in the testing data. Okay, so H has a smaller error than H dash over the training examples, but H dash, has a smaller error over H over the entire set of distribution of the examples. What it considering is with respect to the training data, the error is very less. The specification itself is like that. It is telling with respect to the training data, the error is very less compared to the testing data's H dash. Why? Because it's considering the error only with respect to the training data that it has, a very small chunk of data that it has. But whereas it's telling, okay, with respect to the test data, when it comes to the test data, if I find some error H dash, that is very smaller comparatively to H, okay, but over the entire set of samples, it gives a different data. The interpretation of it differs. Okay, but H dash has a smaller error than H over the entire distribution of instances. Okay, so this is just an example of telling, okay, how overfitting of it is actually solved with respect to an ID3 algorithm. Okay, how does it solve it? So as I told you in the previous classes, like it starts by it considers error pruning as well as rule post pruning. What are the steps that it is involved in it? Okay, what is a reduced error pruning? Okay, reduced error pruning, it is basically, it is to consider each of the decision node in the tree to be the candidates for pruning. Okay, so each and every decision nodes, right, which whenever I get a tree, each and every decision node is now considered to be as the candidates for pruning. How does pruning take? What is pruning? What does pruning mean? Okay, pruning is a decision tree that consists of removing the subtree rooted at that particular node. Pruning a decision tree, okay, it consists of removing the subtree, removing a subtree rooted, okay, at that particular node, making it as a leaf node. As I told you right earlier, it tries to make it as a leaf node whenever it finds some error data, or whether if it finds some missing data, like it tries to make that particular decision node to be as a leaf node, and then assigning it to the most common classification of training examples, either yes or no. If all that values it is trying to yes, you make it to be as a leaf node for that. If it is no, you tell that. Okay, so assigning the most common classification of training example affiliates with that particular node increases the decision tree's accuracy, because one advantage here is it is going to reduce the missing data or the error data. It is handling that. It's handling the missing data. By how? Mechanism of pruning. What does pruning does? Pruning a decision tree which makes nothing. Okay, which just considers that wherever I see some inconsistent data of that, I make that to be as a leaf node. By considering the most common occurrences of classification, that I make that as a leaf node. Once I do that, basically I further continue it. By doing that, actually it increases my decision tree's accuracy. Okay, that is about the reduced error pruning. What does this rule post pruning do? Okay, there are certain steps that it follows. Rule post pruning, the steps are: It infer the decision tree from the training set. Infer the decision tree from the training set. Grow the tree until the data is fit and allowing overfitting to occur. Until the overfitting problem, like you start constructing your decision tree with your training data that you have. Okay, you start constructing the each and every node, okay, until it fits the solution, and basically allowing it to uh, go ahead in the construction as long as you find any overfitting the data. Okay, convert the learned tree into an equivalent set of rules, creating one rule for each path. What did we do there? From Outlook, I will create one path with respect to sunny. From Outlook, I'll create one path with respect to overcast. From Outlook, I'll create one path the rainy. So I will create each and every tree root nodes now as separately. Okay, I'll give each and every path for that. Okay, so it's like root to the leaf node. From the root to the leaf node, I'll create the paths for that. Prune, basically generalize each rule by removing any preconditions. If there are any preconditions that has been existing in that, I will just remove that. I will remove it out. I do not need it. Okay, it improves the estimated accuracy. If there are any preconditions required, okay, or to override this, I need this. Or while constructing this node, like if there are any data related to so, it will consider, okay, it will try to generalize it. Okay, and sort the pruned rules by their estimated accuracy and consider its sequence when classifying the subsequent hypothesis. Okay, after it is done, right, because it might have been eliminated some of the data, right? So then it will again reconstruct it. It will again reconstruct the entire tree. Okay, sort the pruned nodes or the rules, because each and every branch now was a rule, right? So I'm going to sort each and everything, okay, by their estimated accuracies, whatever the accuracy is, and I'll start again segregating or sorting it, okay, and then considers its sequence when classifying subsequent instances. So this is how exactly the rule post pruning does, and it is one of the very important technique which has been used by decision trees to overcome the missing data or overfitting the data. And certain issues, the additional issues also that ID3 decision tree system would do is incorporating continuous valued attributes as well. Decision trees, they can be applicable on continued values. It is not just only it has been fixed with the discrete values, it also can incorporate the continued valued attributes as well. Okay, alternative measures for selecting attributes. Okay, it also has the options for alternatively selecting the attributes, because we had that outlook, temperature, humidity, windy, right? So selecting those attributes also, like alternative measures for selecting attributes, can also be considered using decision trees. Handling training data with missing attribute values, we saw overfitting of data, how it happens, and from there, okay, you can easily tell that, okay, even with noisy data, ID3 decision trees, like they're actually very good in handling it. Okay, so it handles the training examples with missing attribute values as well. Handling attributes with different costs, because each and every decision tree, when you're having, if there's a cost function that comes into picture, because some trees might have a very depth of it, some trees might have a very width of it, like, so there could be, ID3 can be modified to take into account the attribute cost by introducing a cost term into the attribute selection measure. Now we were taking the gain, right? Okay, whichever the highest gain that it is there, we used to so you can give a cost function that has been associated with it. So when you give a cost function that is associated with it, the creation of the decision trees becomes more easier. Okay, so these are some of the capabilities or some of the issues that really decision trees can handle. Okay, so we can have a quick recap of it. The ID3 algorithms, okay, the decision trees, they are very, very capable in handling data which has been overfitting, okay, by considering the reduced error pruning and the rule post pruning. It can also handle the missing data being present, and it can also consider the continuous valued functions, and also it can handle, okay, the attributes with respect to alternative measures of selecting attributes and handling attributes with different costs. A cost term can be added into the decision trees. Okay, so these are the very few important points about the issues which has been handled by the decision trees. I think we'll stop for the day and continue in the next class. Thank you so much.